The newest Genshin update is packed with a ton of new content, and these are the top 5 new features coming with the 5.2 version. So we're starting off really strong because this update introduces a couple of new tribes and regions. Now, the first one, Flower Feather Clan, is a tribe of warriors who live high above the mountains and command the power of the skies. What this means basically is that we will be able to possess this Kukuzaurus who can actually fly. So those of you who didn't pull for Wanderer, hey, now you get to experience some flying. Also, this is the tribe from which Chasca hails from, so her tribal chronicle will be available, and in it, we actually get to meet her Saurian mother, since she was raised by a Kukuzaurus. But yeah, both this tribe and its region will be available for exploration in 5.2. Moving over, the Masters of the Nightwind and their region will be included with this update. Now, their signature Saurian is Ictomizaurus, who has the ability of True Sight, so it can detect various hidden goodies, which can range from jumping and movement boosting abilities to actual resource rewards. And as you can see, this settlement and the area looks pretty unique with some glowing landscape. Keep in mind, only 2 of the 3 tribal chronicles will be available, so I'm guessing we are still waiting for that 5-star Masters of the Nightwind character. Now, what's actually crazy is that another new separate area from the tribes will be available called Ochkanatlan, and from what I understand, this place is dangerous to regular people, and it will feature this cool dragon you will need to fight. In addition, a cute new companion will assist us in this new area, since it is highly contaminated by the abyssal powers. So hey, not only can it cleanse the area, but also our little guy will have a new friend. Oh, and a new world boss called Tenebrous Papilla will be added into the game. This one actually looks legit interesting, since it can shapeshift to other previous monsters you've battled, so I'm curious to see how it works. Finally, Archon Quest Chapter 5 Interlude will feature the Flower Feather Clan, since after the main story events of 5.1, they will need some help, and most importantly, the captain will show up and share some crucial info with us, or at least that's what the livestream claimed, so I am pretty excited about that. New update, new events, and this time around, the main event is going to focus on the Masters of the Nightwind tribe, but I think what's more interesting is that Lolly and Ororon will show up, and those two are pretty hilarious. Now, this event will have 3 main activities. In the first one, you can play in co-op together with others to guide some kind of spirits and earn points, while in the second activity, you will need to build specific teams to accomplish objectives, and in result trigger powerful AoE attacks. Finally, the third activity is some kind of assembly of fragments to complete the picture. I mean, it's cool and all, but check this out. A free 4-star sword will be the main reward of this event, and given the track record of event swords, hopefully this one is going to be good as well. Now, moving over to lesser events, Adventurer's Trials Metamorphosis is basically going to be a small collection of challenges in which you will use trial characters to complete them. However, this next event called Exercise Surging Storm actually looks pretty dope, since you will be able to battle with monsters in an arena, and we aren't using mushrooms this time around. It's a full-on monster battler. Then, Leyland Overflow will be available like usual, and then in Clock Convoy event, you will need to search for adopted animals, which is super cute, but also, what's up with this Hutao statue? And then finally, let's not forget the TCG people. Actually, this new heated battle mode looks interesting because it will automate the fights and speed up animations. Heck, I might even give it a shot this time. Oh, and yeah, some new cards will be added too. We've gone from double jumping Kazuha to flying Wanderer to then finally seeing someone who can ride a big gun and shoot enemies from the sky? That's right, the new 5-star Animo bow unit Chasca can literally hop onto her gun and ride it around, which can be done by activating her skill. On top of that, she can also shoot enemies from mid-air, either by just spamming normal attacks, or if you hold down the button, she can aim her shots in a wide area by loading up these bullets. And the most interesting thing about them is that they can be infused with different elements, which can be either pyro, electro, cryo, or hydro, depending on what teammates Chasca has. In fact, even her burst can load up different elemental bullets, since when she uses it, 6 shots will split off from the original attack, and they can even gain those elemental affinities, which is pretty cool. But this means she can literally deal 5 different elemental damage types, and I can already tell you, she's gonna be one wacky character, and I'm actually gonna make a video about this very soon. Now, another new character that's getting introduced in 5.2 is going to be Ororon, Ororon, who's a 4-star electro bow user. What's interesting about him is that he can leap high into the air and shoot enemies from the above, kinda like Chasca, but from the way I understood his skid, he's actually gonna be more similar to Fischl, since he builds up his Night Soul Blessing state from teammates who deal Night Soul Burst, Hydro, Electro, and Electro Charge damage, and in this way, he can unleash both on-field and off-field damage. So in other words, he is probably gonna work best in teams that can unleash Electro Charge reactions. Also, his burst is pretty great, since it will taunt enemies and deal damage periodically in an area, as you can see here. Alright, time to talk about the banners. In Phase 1, Chasca and Linny will be the featured 5 stars along with Ororon, while in Phase 2, Zhongli and Neuvillette will be available to pull for. And as always, you can expect to see Chasca's signature weapon, but also this time the update will add 2 new 4-star gacha weapons as well. Honestly, this kinda deserves a quick shoutout since fishing wasn't available in Natlan until now, and apparently you will be able to fish from lava pools. So yeah, fishing is coming in 5.2, baby! It seems like Natlan updates just keep on giving tons of new quality of life changes, and the 5.2 version is no different. And starting with the first one, Treasure Compass will now discover more chests, such as the ones from the time trial challenges, and a new quick swap feature will be added. So when you enter a region, the corresponding region's Treasure Compass and Oculus Resonance Stones will be enabled automatically. Now, artifacts yet again got a bunch of new changes, like the auto lock feature, which basically allows you to set the rules for which artifacts to become locked when picked up, which as you can see can be either enabled by recommended settings, or you can set your own rules like locking goblets with damage bonuses immediately. On top of that, you will also be able to mark important artifacts with this star icon, which will immediately bring them up in priority when displaying and also lock them. But personally, my favorite one is the new sorting function added to inventory, where you can select this toggle and show the artifacts in your bag based on the order they were obtained. So, you know, if you accidentally forget to check what artifacts dropped, you can go back to your bag and see them show up as first results. Then, for smaller changes, weapons in Battle Pass will now show their refinement level you have, while in Serenity Pod, you can now purchase wood you have already obtained. In addition, you can now hold more seeds, and that gadget that allows you to cut trees will only have 5-second cooldown. Best of all crafting animations have been sped up, which is nice after years of waiting those extra few seconds each time. And then, Imaginarium Theater is getting a bunch of small changes, such as boosting blessing levels of guest star characters, and interestingly enough, when choosing units, their roles will be displayed such as on-field or off-field DPS, or who is support or survival type character. I don't know, we'll see how Hoyo will assign these roles, but I'm guessing this is mostly there to help people decide faster when selecting. Oh, and also, starting from December, you'll be able to see who borrowed your character from the friends list. Also, now you can immediately go to the next act instead of interrupting your progression and needing to open that book to continue. And then, probably the biggest change and the most surprising one, the base damage of Overload, Superconduct, Electro Charge, and Shatter reactions will be increased. By how much? Not clear yet, but I am definitely going to talk about these changes when the update is live. Finally, on November 20th, after version update, Genshin is coming to Xbox Series S and X, and I believe you will be able to obtain a unique wing glider if you log into one of those consoles, and you will also be able to play Genshin via cloud gaming. Anyway, that's pretty much it when it comes to the 5.2 update. Hope you found this video useful, and as always, I would really appreciate it if you could press the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks, and see you very soon.